Hello and welcome to lecture number 62. This is topic 4.9, Black Religious Nationalism and the Black Power Movement. There's two learning objectives, and the first one is describe the origins and beliefs of the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam was a religious organization founded in Detroit in 1930 by Wallace Fard. Fard's teaching combined Islam with themes of black empowerment and self-resilience, which resonated with African Americans in urban areas during a time of significant racial oppression. However, Fard mysteriously disappeared in 1934 after he and Elijah Muhammad faced legal troubles in Detroit. The issue stemmed from the establishment of Islam universities, which taught school-age children the organization's theology. The truancy of children from public schools triggered legal action against the NOI for operating without proper permits. The most famous leader of the organization was Elijah Muhammad, who took over in 1934. Muhammad would go on to lead the NOI for over 4 decades, expanding its reach and influence across the United States. The Nation of Islam did not promote an orthodox version of Islam. Instead, it blended basic Islamic beliefs and practices, such as devotion to Allah, consistent prayer 5 times a day, and the study of the Quran, with a unique mythology and black nationalist ideology. For example, in the NOI's theology, white people were described as a devilish race, created to rule over black people for 6,000 years, while black people were regarded as the original humans on Earth. It is important to note that the NOI is designated as a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center due to its history of promoting anti-Semitic and homophobic messages. The Nation of Islam found a significant following among African Americans in urban areas during the mid-20th century. Many were seeking identity, purpose, and resistance against racial oppression. This period coincided with the Great Migration, during which millions of African Americans moved from the rural South to industrial cities like Chicago, Detroit, and New York in search of better opportunities and escape for Jim Crow laws. The NOI's emphasis on self-reliance and black pride appealed to these individuals, offering a sense of stability and belonging in rapidly changing urban environments. By the 1960s, the NOI had established businesses, schools, and other institutions aimed at fostering economic independence within the black community. As we mentioned, Elijah Muhammad was the Nation of Islam's most famous leader and was instrumental in growing the organization to its height. Elijah Muhammad, born Elijah Robert Poole in 1897 in Sandersville, Georgia, was the son of formerly enslaved parents. He witnessed the pervasive racial injustices of the Jim Crow South, which deeply influenced his later work. He began leading the NOI in 1934 from its Chicago headquarters, and under Elijah Muhammad's leadership, the organization established a network of businesses to help unemployed members and created self-help programs to foster economic independence. For example, the NOI operated bakeries, restaurants, and grocery stores, emphasizing black-owned enterprise and economic self-sufficiency. The organization also promoted racial pride, focusing on uplifting African Americans through its teaching and practices. Elijah Muhammad expanded the NOI by establishing mosques across northeastern cities. Many of these mosques were started by ministers like Malcolm X, who would later become one of the NOI's most well-known figures. Muhammad encouraged followers to abandon their surnames, often inherited from white enslavers, and replace them with Muslim names or use X as a placeholder until a new name was chosen. This practice symbolized the rejection of their slave heritage and reclaiming of their identity. To understand the significance of this, it's important to note that after the Civil War, many freed enslaved individuals adopted the surnames of their enslavers or plantations. This was done as a way to trace their lineage and maintain a connection to their history. However, Elijah Muhammad urged NOI members to break from this tradition as part of embracing their new spiritual and cultural identity. One of the most famous converts to the Nation of Islam was Muhammad Ali, the world-renowned boxer. Born as Cassius Clay Jr. in Louisville, Kentucky, Ali won a gold medal at the 1960 Olympics and became a heavyweight boxing champion. After joining the NOI in the early 1960s, he changed his name to Muhammad Ali, reflecting his commitment to the movement and its ideals. Ali's bold rejection of his slave name and adoption of a Muslim identity became a powerful symbol of resistance and empowerment during the civil rights movement. The second learning objective is to explain how black freedom movement strategies transitioned from civil rights to black power. The Black Power movement of the 1960s was preceded by earlier forms of black nationalism that emerged in the 19th and early 20th centuries. For example, Martin R. Delaney, often considered one of the first proponents of black nationalism and black separatism, became disenchanted with the progress of Reconstruction in the post-Civil War era and began advocating for African Americans to establish a separate nation. Delaney's efforts to promote emigration to Africa and his emphasis on black self-reliance laid the groundwork for later movements. In the early 20th century, Marcus Garvey further advanced the ideology of black nationalism through the establishment of the Black Star Alliance and the Universal Negro Improvement Association. His goal was to create a racially separate nation in Africa, fostering economic and political independence for African-descended people worldwide. Garvey's Back to Africa movement, though controversial, became one of the largest black-led movements of the time and heavily influenced later leaders in the black freedom struggle. The Black Power movement in the 1960s was a reimagination of these earlier ideas. It was first prominently vocalized by Stokely Carmichael in 1966 during the Meredith March Against Fear, following his release from jail. At this time, despite the passage of landmark civil rights and voting rights legislation in 1964 and 1965 respectively, Southern states continued to resist implementing these protections. Carmichael's speech reflected the growing impatience among many in the Black freedom movement who were disillusioned with the strategies of nonviolence, racial integration, and equal rights that had dominated the civil rights movement. This frustration was also a response to the ongoing racial violence, disenfranchisement, and economic inequality that earlier legislation had not immediately resolved. Eventually, organizations like the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, or SNCC, and the Congress of Racial Equality, or CORE, shifted their philosophies to adopt Black Power ideologies, even going so far as to expel their white members. This marked a significant break from the interracial coalitions that had characterized the early civil rights movement. The Black Power movement promoted self-determination, Black consciousness, and cultural pride. It emphasized the importance of African Americans reclaiming their heritage and taking pride in their identity. This period also saw the rise of Afrocentric fashion, hairstyles like the Afro, and the popularization of phrases like Black is beautiful, all of which reinforced a sense of cultural pride and resistance to assimilation. Additionally, the movement defended the use of violence as a viable strategy, but with significant nuance. While some Black Power adherents advocated for revolutionary violence to secure human rights for African Americans, others emphasized violence strictly as a form of self-defense. This debate reflected broader ideological differences within the movement, highlighting that Black Power was not monolithic. Followers of the movement often agreed on some principles, such as the need for racial pride and economic independence, but diverged on others, particularly the role of violence. Malcolm X was a precursor to the Black Power movement of the 1960s. Although he was assassinated in 1965, a year before Stokely Carmichael popularized the term Black Power, Malcolm X had become one of the most dynamic and controversial figures of the civil rights era as an activist for the Nation of Islam. His earlier life, marked by poverty and the traumatic loss of his father, an outspoken supporter of Marcus Garvey, profoundly shaped his worldview. While imprisoned in the late 1940s and early 1950s, Malcolm X converted to Islam and became deeply involved with the NOI. After his release, he met Elijah Muhammad, who tasked him with founding mosques in Boston and Philadelphia. Eventually, Malcolm X rose to prominence as the minister of Mosque No. 7 in Harlem, where he became a leading voice championing principles of Black autonomy. Malcolm X's rhetoric was unapologetically assertive and often gendered. He frequently called on Black men to stand up for their rights and to protect their women and children as a mark of true masculinity. He also encouraged African Americans to build their own social, economic, and political institutions, echoing the teachings of Marcus Garvey. The similarities between their messages was no accident, as Malcolm's father, Earl Little, had been an active follower of the Garvey movement in the 1920s. Malcolm X openly criticized the nonviolent approach of leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and rejected the goal of racial integration, advocating instead for Black self-determination and the rights to self-defense. His belief that African Americans should defend themselves by any means necessary resonated with those disillusioned by the slow pace of progress in the civil rights movement. In 1959, Malcolm X gained national attention when he was featured in the television documentary The Hate That Hate Produced. The documentary portrayed the Nation of Islam and Malcolm X as militant and radical, framing him as the ideological opposite of Martin Luther King Jr. While this exposure brought him widespread notoriety, it also cast him in a polarizing light. Malcolm X's growing popularity and controversial comments, including those about the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, began to strain his relationship with Elijah Muhammad. These tensions eventually led to Malcolm X's split from the Nation of Islam in 1964. Malcolm X's ideology of self-defense emphasized dignity, solidarity, and the importance of African Americans defending themselves when the government failed to protect their lives and property. His famous speech, The Ballot or the Bullets, delivered in 1964, reflected this ideology. While the speech's title might suggest a call to arms, Malcolm X does not propose specific violent actions. Instead, he uses the phrase the ballot or the bullet as a metaphor to underscore the urgency of the civil rights struggle and the limited options available to African Americans if systemic oppression persisted. In The Ballot or the Bullet, Malcolm X critiques the federal government and highlights the reasons African Americans were disenchanted with inaction on civil rights. He warns that if African Americans are continually denied their rights, frustration and anger could lead to violence, not as an organized strategy, but as a natural consequence of oppression. His central message is not incitement but empowerment, emphasizing political, economic, and social self-determination. This focus on self-reliance and community solidarity built on earlier Black nationalist ideas and directly challenged the mainstream civil rights movement's focus on nonviolence. Malcolm X also highlighted a double standard in American society. African American men were willing to fight in wars like the Korean War, but were often unable or unwilling to defend their own communities at home. This rhetoric was particularly poignant following events like the 1963 16th Street Baptist Church bombing in Birmingham, Alabama, where 4 young Black girls were killed in a white supremacist attack. The bombing deeply influenced Malcolm X's call for self-defense and exposed the brutality of racial violence in the United States. Malcolm X advocated for African Americans to exercise their Second Amendment rights, framing self-defense as a fundamental right rather than a radical act. His emphasis on the right to bear arms inspired various groups that emerged during the Black Power movement. For instance, the Deacons for Defense and Justice, a group founded in Louisiana in 1964, organized paramilitary defense units to protect civil rights activists from white supremacist violence. The Deacons worked alongside larger organizations like Congress of Racial Equality or CORE to safeguard activists in the Deep South. The Revolutionary Action Movement, or RAM, another group inspired by Malcolm X, sought to promote Black self-defense and global racial solidarity. RAM's ideology was heavily influenced by Malcolm X's emphasis on internationalism and the connections between African Americans and oppressed peoples worldwide. And finally, the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, founded in 1966 by Huey Newton and Bobby Seale, directly embraced Malcolm X's advocacy for self-defense. In 1967, the Panther staged a protest at the California State Capitol in opposition to gun control legislation, a demonstration that symbolized their commitment to protecting Black communities through armed self-defense. We'll talk more about the Black Panthers in topic 4.11. Toward the end of his life, Malcolm X's ideology began to evolve significantly, particularly after his departure from the Nation of Islam in 1964. This shift was precipitated by a series of events, including his suspension from the NOI at the end of 1963. The suspension followed a controversial comment Malcolm X made about President John F. Kennedy's assassination. When asked by a reporter how he felt about the event, Malcolm remarked that it was a case of the chickens coming home to roost, implying that the United States' history of violence had culminated in this tragedy. This comment was seen as insensitive and prompted Elijah Muhammad to bar Malcolm X from speaking engagements. During his suspension, Malcolm X traveled to Africa and the Middle East. His pilgrimage to Mecca, known as the Hajj, profoundly transformed his worldview. Witnessing Muslims of all racial and ethnic backgrounds united in faith reshaped his perspective on race and humanity. He abandoned the Nation of Islam's teaching that depicted white people as white devils and instead embraced a more inclusive and orthodox version of Islam. In Mecca, Malcolm X adopted the name El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, reflecting his renewed commitment to Islam and global solidarity. Malcolm X's experience abroad also deepened his commitment to Black nationalism and Pan-Africanism. He founded the Organization of Afro-American Unity, or the OAAU, in 1964, modeling it after the Organization of African Unity, or the OAU, a coalition of newly independent African nations. The OAU was established in 1963, and it sought to promote African solidarity and decolonization of the continent. Malcolm X envisioned the OAAU as a means of connecting the struggle of African Americans to those of Africans fighting for independence as human rights. Malcolm X began advocating for African Americans' rights to be recognized as human rights, framing their struggle as part of a larger global fight against oppression. He sought to internationalize the civil rights movement by encouraging African nations to petition the United Nations to address the systemic violations of African Americans' rights in the United States. Malcolm X's vision expanded to support decolonization movements in Africa and independence efforts around the world. At a 1964 OAU meeting in Cairo, Malcolm X emphasized the importance of global unity among people of African descent, highlighting the interconnectedness of their struggle. By the end of his life, Malcolm X's ideology was a blend of Black nationalism, Pan-Africanism, and Orthodox Islam. He continued to advocate for the economic, political, and cultural empowerment of African Americans, while also emphasizing the necessity of global solidarity among oppressed peoples. Tragically, Malcolm X's life was cut short when he was assassinated on February 21, 1965, at the Audubon Ballroom in New York City. Despite his untimely death, his evolving ideas inspired subsequent movements, including the Black Power movement and efforts to connect African American activism with global liberation struggles. And finally, here's the recap. The Nation of Islam grew in membership in the mid-20th century under the leadership of Elijah Muhammad by providing an attractive worldview for Black urban males. The Black Power movement was popularized by Stokely Carmichael in 1966, and it promoted self-determination, Black consciousness, armed self-defense, and revolution. Malcolm X grew national popularity as a Nation of Islam minister, promoting messages of black autonomy, and was critical of the nonviolent civil rights movement. Towards the end of his life, X's ideology evolved to be more open to racially inclusive methods in the fight for equality. Thank you for watching. If you would like to watch the next lecture, click the thumbnail on the screen. And if you would like more resources to help you study, you can visit apushlights.com/AFAM. I wish you the best of luck with your studies, and I hope to see you back on the next lecture.